Hi everyone. We are starting the session in just 1 minute. Kindly please turn on your cameras. Yeah, good morning everyone. I hope you're all doing well and as excited as we are for today's webinar. I'm Aditya Vikram Chawla, Community Lead of Open Source Chandigarh, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to this special session on fueling innovation through open source, your first steps in Hacktoberfest. As we dive into the world of open source, this webinar is designed to help you take the first step towards contributing, learning, and growing within the open source community. Hacktober is one of the best ways to get started, offering countless opportunities and engage with real world projects, expand your network, and develop your technical skills. We are honored to have Preksha Mahajan, a mentor at Open Source Chandigarh, who will guide us through the principles and culture of open source, sharing insights on how it can benefit your personal and professional growth. Joining her are our brilliant technical heads, Rehan, Chalana, and Arshdeep Singh, who will provide a comprehensive look at how Hacktoberfest works. They'll walk us through the process of contributing to repositories and even give hands on guidance on how you can kickstart your journey with Hacktoberfest, whether you are a beginner or an experienced developer. In today's session, you'll learn the benefits of contributing to open source and being part of its vibrant tech community, how Hacktober can be your gateway into the world of open source, step by step instructions on how to participate, find projects, and make meaningful contributions. By the end of this webinar, you'll be equipped with the knowledge and confidence to participate in Hacktoberfest and start making your mark in the open source world. Thank you for joining us today. We request you all to participate in the discussions and engage with our resource persons. I now hand over the session to Preksha to begin. Over to you, Preksha.
Thank you, Aditya, for the kind introduction. Hi, everyone.
So,
So, firstly, I request you all to switch on your cameras. Secondly, I want you guys to make this session interactive. So, whenever we ask you any sort of questions, or if you have any sort of questions for us, make sure you raise your hands or you can put in the chat box, at least for the part which I am taking. So, the session's title is Fueling Innovation Through Open Source Your First Steps in Hacktoberfest. As Aditya told, this session will be all about open source and how you can contribute in Hacktoberfest. So, before we move on, a bit about us. So, I am Preksha Mahajan. I'm mentor at Open Source Chandigarh, and I was the previous community lead of Open Source Chandigarh. I'm also a third year student at Chitkara University. So, Rehan and Arshdeep, you can introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Rehan Chalana, a second year student at Chitkara University. I'm also technical and programming and DSA technical head at Open Source Chandigarh. I love Spring Boot, Java, open source, and you can always reach out to me if you need any help.
Hello everyone, this is Arshdeep. I am the web lead at Open Source Chandigarh. I am mostly interested in front-end technologies, open source projects, open source contributions. If you would like any guidance or issues, you can always reach out to us of the open source community. We are glad to help.
Thank you, Rehan and Arshdeep. So let's discuss the today's agenda. Firstly, we'll be discussing about open source. What is open source? What are the benefits of contributing to open source? Importance of open source. Then we'll learn how we can get started with open source. Then we'll introduce you all to something called GitHub Student Developer Pack and how this pack can help you throughout your college journey. Then we'll discuss about some famous open source programs in which you can contribute. Then Rehan and Arshdeep will tell you all about Hacktoberfest. They'll demonstrate this contribution via uh, this hands-on demonstration, and at the end we'll be taking up your questions. So before I move on to the next slide, can anyone tell what is open source? Please raise your hands. Yes, ma'am. You're not audible, ma'am. Okay, till Mayank fixes his mic. Can anyone else? Yes, someone with the name Good Night. Good morning, firstly. I guess you also have a mic issue. So nobody knows about open source. Yes, Kanishk.
It's a software that anyone can, use, modify, and then sell it for their own gains. And
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Aryan. Please unmute yourself.
Open source is a community which is free. We could like it is a free or community where like projects are handled and many events are also there without any any fee or something. Like it is free and we could contribute and we could take help from the community.
Okay. Yes, Saksham Dhruv.
Developing softwares or Windows OS like Linux to making technology free and accessible to everyone.
Okay, cool. So let me take you to this journey. So, open source is basically a software methodology that contains various softwares and projects whose source code is freely accessible to the public. They can view, use, modify, distribute that software or projects depending upon their needs. And mainly, these softwares are developed by a community of volunteers or organizations, right? So, open source is not any like people uh, who are working on projects, not just limited to that actually. It includes a community, it is a culture where you are promoting the things that can be reused again. What is the fun of using, of making things which are actually, already available? You can reuse them, right? So, here are some of the icons. Can anyone name all these 9 icons? Please raise your hands. Yes, someone with the name Good Night.
Okay. Python, Mozilla Firefox, Git, Android, Flutter, React, Java, C++, and that last second icon is I'm not quite sure, but
Okay,
most of them I feel are correct.
right. Yes, Krishna.
Python, Firefox, Git, Android, Flutter, React, Java, Spring Boot, and C++.
Very good. Yeah. So all these languages, version control system, operating system, frameworks which you see on the screen, these all are open source, meaning that their source code is publicly available to all of us, our developer community. They can view, they can modify the source code as per their needs. Okay, so that is just the theory part. Now let's take an example to visualize open source. So, how many of you have attended our previous sessions and they remember the cake example? Okay, I got 3 hands raised. Okay, cool. So, there are some. So, let me elaborate. So, imagine you are a chef and you baked a cake, right? So, there are some sort of ingredients which you have used, and now you share that recipe with your friends. You actually baked a chocolate cake, and now you want that your friends should uh, contribute their own ideas and make that recipe better. So, friend one, for example, let me take Aditya. He suggests me to bake a pineapple cake, and he sent all his ingredients to me. Then we have Ridhima. She sent me the example of a blueberry cake, and she sent me all the ingredients. So, how we can relate this example to real world of open source? The cake which you are baking, it's actually your project that contains the source code, right? So your friends, they are making open source contributions. They are telling the ingredients, they are telling their recipes according to their customized needs. So they are the open source contributors, and you as the chef, you are the project admin or maintainer of that project. Clear everyone?
Yeah.
Right, great. So a quick question, which is the most famous operating system that is open source? Yes, Pulkit.
Ubuntu.
Okay, but something before that.
Linux.
Yes, Linux, right. Okay, another quick question. Most famous open source media player.
VLC.
Right. So, why should we contribute to open source? Like, what is its importance? So, firstly, skill growth. When you know you have the skills to work upon various projects and you want to enhance those skills, you can certainly contribute to open source projects and showcase them, right? So, for example, you have made enough projects. You are, fully done that you have made all those projects, and now you want to do something extra. So what you can do, you can contribute to open source projects and softwares. You can add on fixes, you can add on various features, enhance those features, you can change the styling based upon your need. You can even distribute that software after changing as per the license. So next we have innovation. As I said, open source is actually a culture. There is a community of volunteers involved. When so many people of diverse, cultures, they come together, they obviously bring certain different ideas, and as a result, we develop something innovative. Next comes transparency. So, open source softwares are actually transparent because we can see the source code easily, and this can build a sense of trust. Next, we have security. It is a myth that open source softwares are not secure. In actual, they are secure because when there is a community involved, there are certain code reviews, community reviews. Anyone can find the vulnerabilities and they can also fix those vulnerabilities. Open source softwares are also flexible because anyone can view and modify the software according to their needs. Cost efficiency. As I told you earlier, softwares can be reused again. So why put money on something, on building something that is already present when you can reuse that, right? So how you can get started with open source? So firstly, you need to build a skill set. If you are interested in web development, firstly you need to learn front end, then back end or Mon stack. And if you like mobile development, app development, then you can go for Android development. Then we have Flutter for cross platform apps, and then we have iOS development, but iOS is actually closed source. Then we have you need to learn version control system like Git, and you also need to learn about GitHub, because all these projects, almost all these softwares and projects, their source code is usually available on a platform like GitHub, and you need to learn those Git commands. In case you're not able to learn those commands, you can use something like GitHub Desktop, which offers graphical user interface, and you can easily contribute. Now, once you have built your skill set, you have learned the version control system, it's time to find those projects related to your skill set. So, what you need to do, go to platform like GitHub. You need to find a project related to your skill set by writing the topic, like JavaScript, and you want to contribute somewhere in web development area. Then you can find various projects, and by saying various, I mean millions of projects are available. Also, you can actively contribute to open source by participating in various open source programs. So, before we dive into various open source programs, let me tell you something about GitHub Student Developer Pack. So, GitHub Student Developer Pack is basically a very good resource for students of computer science who are pursuing computer science engineering or in the fields of computer. So, what you will get, there are millions, not millions, thousands of offers that you can avail and use in your college journey. Firstly, we have some learning resources like online courses, tutorials, and you get the access of some months to those platforms, and you can learn various other things. For example, we have scrimba.com. It is a very good platform if you are interested in AI, ML, or web development. Now they are putting courses on DSA as well. Next, we have some domain names for personal websites and projects. We have Namecheap, and we have name.com. You can even get .tech domain for your projects, and you can host those projects once you build them. Because when you build a project, it gets completed once it gets hosted on some platform, right? You have used Vercel, Netlify, you can get more domain names as well. Then we have some hosting credits or platforms like Heroku and AWS, you get certain credits. There is Digital Ocean, we'll be talking about it later on. You get those credits, you can avail them till you are a college student. Then you get access to certain collaboration tools such as JetBrains ID. There are millions of resources available, and you can always avail those using your student ID or something that shows that you are a part of this college. And as you can see, education.github.com, you can search about it, and you can apply for the pack. And once you get access, you can certainly find out various other benefits. It includes different benefits such as you can get access to Notion as well. How many of you know about Notion? Yeah, I see some hands. So you can get some certain type of access to Notion platform as well. These offers, they get built up by GitHub itself. Yuvraj, can you please mute yourself? So these get updated with time. You can keep on checking. There are various other um things coming up related to AI, machine learning, and as you know, AI is now the next most uh, needed skill in the job market. So many other things are coming up. You can certainly search up. Also, we have one QR code here. So if you are facing any issues on how to avail the GitHub Student Developer Pack, you can scan this QR. We have made a video on our Open Source Chandigarh's YouTube channel. You can watch this video and you can follow the steps. So Aditya, can you please share the YouTube link in the chat as well?
Yeah.
I hope everyone has scanned. Can I see some reactions? Okay, great. So moving on to next thing, we have open source programs. So there are many open source programs depending upon your level. Firstly, at beginner level, we have Girl Script Summer of Code. We have Girl Script Winter of Blockchain. These two programs, they are conducted by Girl Script Foundation every year. And Girl Script Summer of Code is conducted during summers, and Winter of Blockchain is conducted during winters. So nowadays, I guess there is some Girl Script Summer of Code extended version going on, and it is a very good program to contribute in case you are a beginner. We also have Social Winter of Code conducted by Social Foundation. Then at beginner level, we have Hacktoberfest, which is the most celebrated open source program, and we'll be discussing about this in our today's session. At intermediate level, we have programs like Outreachy. Outreachy is a very good program for um, maintaining diversity in open source. So basically, all the females, males can also, but it is a very good program for females as well. And you can apply for this program, and you can get a very good stipend if you are selected and if you are contributing to this program. You get many internship opportunities. Then at advanced level, we have MLH fellowship. MLH fellowship is conducted by Major League Hacking every year, and this year there was some controversy related to MLH fellowship. So anyone is aware about that, like what all happened? Yes, Manprabnoor. Okay, so let me elaborate. So basically, because of a lot of spammy applications from our nation, from India, MLH fellowship was not available to Indians. So it is a good program, but Unfortunately, Indians were not selected for this. Then we have Google Summer of Code, and this is a very prestigious open source program conducted by Google every year. Applications for the next cohort will be opening very soon, so make sure you check out. In this program, there are many such organizations, and they are looking for proposals basically from contributors, and based upon your skill set and interests you can contribute to the projects, and once you're selected and once you are done with the program you get a very good stipend. Also you are accessible to the recruiters, and they provide you various other job and internship opportunities. And then we have LFX mentorship. So I won't be telling much about this to you because we have Rehan for that, and Rehan is an LFX mentee for this year for the CNCF, and he'll be telling you once it comes over to him. So, yes, Rehan, all over to you.
Hello guys, again I'm Rehan Chalana. So about LFX mentorship, it is conducted by the Linux Foundation 3 times each year. They have 3 sessions, and it's a 3 month long period of open source contributions. And they primarily for this winter sem, they were focusing on cloud stuff, cloud native. But there you can also find some JavaScript projects, and it is a very good opportunity as it has less crowd than GSOC, and also uh, their stipend is almost same of GSOC, right? So it is very good opportunity. You should definitely check it out. And yeah, if any of you are interested in Linux, they also conduct a very good mentorship on Linux kernel bug found. So you can find bugs and report them in Linux kernel. So it is a very good opportunity if you are interested in that. I guess that's it.
So, now Arshdeep will be guiding you about Hacktoberfest, and he'll be taking all your questions, all your doubts, and please make sure you actively listen to him, and then we'll move on to hands on demonstration.
Um, Hello everyone. Once again, welcome to this webinar organized by Open Source Chandigarh. So before we begin, कि आज हमने करना क्या है? You must have already learned about the title that we will be learning about Hacktoberfest contribution. But what exactly is Hacktoberfest? So Hacktoberfest is one of the major beginner level open source program that is organized each year in the month of October. Obviously, the name says it. Yeah, so under Hacktoberfest, there are many open source projects available for you to contribute. Hacktoberfest was founded in the year 2014 by DigitalOcean. Back then, they had only about 600 contributors, but by 2023, they have about 70,000. So you can understand the scale at which open source and Hacktoberfest is growing each year. In fact, uh, o- Hacktoberfest organizes one of the largest communities of open source contributions each year. So also you might be thinking कि हाँ मैंने contribute कर लिया Hacktoberfest में, what would I get? So Hacktoberfest provide used to provide goodies and trees that were planted in your name. But understanding sustainable development and their environmental impact, so since last year, they have started to give online batches on Holopin, which are customizable according to how many pull requests you make. You can show that on your GitHub. You can also show them on your LinkedIn for potential recruiters to find you out. Uh, so that's it for theory. So are you guys ready for some hands-on tutorial? I need some reaction, guys. Are you guys ready? So yeah, over to you, Rehan.
Guys, we will need a volunteer for this whole event that will help us demonstrate how to make an actual contribution in Hacktoberfest. So it is a really good opportunity. Make sure to volunteer yourself.
The volunteer will also make their first Hacktoberfest
Uh,
contribution. So some enthusiasm, guys.
we will guide you completely on how to make your first contribution. Pulkit, I see Pulkit is raising hand. Pulkit, you can turn on your camera, and we will also be needing you to share your screen for this whole event so we can demonstrate other students. Pulkit, can you turn on your camera or share your screen?
Actually, my camera is not working. So,
I guess that is okay. We can continue with the screen sharing. Can you share your screen, Pulkit? Yep, very well. Just go on Google and search Hacktoberfest. So as you guys can see, this is the official website for Hacktoberfest, and we will be guiding you thoroughly on from the steps like how to register to actually making your contribution, and most importantly, getting your contribution recognized by Hacktoberfest. Some students struggle in that. So as you guys can see, first I need to register in this. So Pulkit, can you click on start hacking button? So it will automatically try to authorize your GitHub if it is logged in your browser. And as you guys can see, it detected Pulkit's GitHub and recognized it. Have you already registered Pulkit? I think he has already registered. So
yeah, I have.
yeah, kindly keep your mic on, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it is good. So yeah, he has already registered, but if you are first time registering, they will give you a form and you have to fill it, and then you can proceed. So once you register, you will see your GitHub profile, GitHub username there. So now, Pulkit, do one thing, just go on github.com. So, guys, I would like to tell you, Open Source Chandigarh organization is also participating in GitHub and on Hacktoberfest, and we have various projects that you can contribute and get your pull request merged and get it counted in uh, Hacktoberfest. So, just Pulkit, just search Open Source Chandigarh. So, yep, that is the organization on GitHub by our Open Source Chandigarh community. Can you scroll a bit? Scroll down a bit. Yeah, more. Yeah. So as you can see, these are the repositories. Now there are many repositories, guys. So my question is, how will you recognize that a particular repository is participating in Hacktoberfest or not? So Pulkit, do one thing, just open Zengetsu. That is a anime website Arsh, our co-host, built. So as you guys can see, it has on the also first of all, I would ask you guys, can you tell is this repository is participating in Hacktoberfest or not?
How would you guys identify कि आप GitHub पे बहुत सारी repository हैं? How would you identify कि ये वाली repo Hacktoberfest contributions accept कर रही है कि नहीं कर रही?
Yes, good night. Sorry, I don't know your name.
Sorry, so my name is Raj actually, and I think we can literally see that there are
Yeah,
so Hacktober and Hacktoberfest accepted tags are also there, and I feel in the README
exactly,
also it will be there. So yeah, these are the sources.
exactly. So mainly these are the tags, but sometimes the maintainer may add it in their README also. So yeah, now I have decided that yeah, this repository is participating in Hacktoberfest. So Pulkit, can you scroll a bit down? Okay, so this is README file. Any of you guys know about README.md file? What is special about that? Okay, good night again.
Yeah, so README file is kind of go through walk through document or repository, how you can download the repository, and basically how to actually run that the repository and make the application work, be it npm start or what modules you need to install, and whichever things are required to make it run. It gives you a
Exactly.
by line walkthrough of how to do it.
Yeah, thank you. So it's Chirag, right? So yeah, readme.md file is a special file that is recognized by GitHub and represented differently in your repository. It basically serves as a static point for your project. So like Pulkit just came to this project and he don't know anything about this project. He can read it. He can read the readme.md file and understand what this project is about, how to actually contribute, how to install that project in his own working machine. That is most important step. You can scroll a bit up when the readme.md file starts. So yeah, as you can guys can see, Ash has clearly mentioned the steps on how to configure DB and Firebase and get this project started in his own working machine. But can you scroll a bit down? Okay, so we want to find a issue in this readme.md file so we can help you guys see how to actually make a contribution and improve this repository. Can you scroll a bit down? Yeah, perfect. So as you can see, we are on the contributing section. So guys, this contributing section has a major issue. Can any one of you guess, not guess, tell what the issue is? It is that issue is basically in every other line.
Yes, it is repetitive actually.
Yeah, just try to think what might be the issue and what contribution we can make.
Everyone, please engage while you're listening to us as well. Please
Please ask.
open these websites, and whatever we are doing, try to inculcate that so you can understand that as well. Steps are already being written down in call messages. You can check that out as well.
Please try to make this interactive and please ask questions. Sometimes we can also miss something, so make sure to you ask questions and get something from the time you're giving in the event. No, can no one tell what the issue is?
Seriously, guys, kuch bhi ho, you might
We'll keep
find some.
scroll a bit up, and so yeah, you guys can see there might be some issue in the contributing section. Scroll a bit down again on the contrib. Pulkit, yeah, Pulkit, sure.
आई थिंक जो लिंक्स हैं उनको लाइक एमडी के अंदर लिंक्स फाइल के अंदर डालना चाहिए.
Very close, very close.
Yes, you're very
Yeah,
close.
I guess we should tell them, Arsh.
Okay. So, Pulkit, if you would just scroll a little upward,
Okay, first listen
first
from
section,
Saksham.
section.
Saksham, would you like to speak? He is not responding, so we would proceed further.
हेलो
Pul-
आप.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
ये जो लिंक कॉपी का ऑप्शन है शायद यहाँ पे ये एक इशू हो सकता है फिर.
yeah, very close. So basically, you guys can see that git commands are not highlighted properly, right? That
Pulkit,
is
if you would,
basically the issue.
Pulkit, if you would scroll a little upwards, थोड़ा सा ऊपर, थोड़ा सा नीचे, थोड़ा सा नीचे, थोड़ा और. Yeah, if you would just see, the npm install firebase is also a command, but it is highlighted in code block. आप यहाँ से you can copy that as well and use that in later. But the same is not true for GitHub commands that are given below. Pulkit, would you please scroll down? नाउ कंसिडर कि आप जैसे कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हो, अगर आपका इफ योर ब्राउजर सपोर्ट्स कॉपिंग लाइंस, ऑब्वियसली यू कैन कॉपी, बट इफ इट डजंट, हाउ वुड यू नीड टू टाइप एवरीथिंग लाइक git clone and the entire link as well. So that's kind of a waste of time, and also it doesn't look quite nice. It is a generally a good practice to include commands in the code blocks. So that's the issue, just like
That is all. Yeah, go on.
Yes, good night.
Yeah, so one more thing which I find as a issue, like it's not a major issue, but it should have like proper sections, because right now it's the like same font for the repository and then click the fork button. There should be some segregation, some, yeah, that also
Yeah,
matters, like copying the command and all. So these
yeah,
should
that
Yeah,
be.
is a that
exactly.
that is a good issue. That's why I was saying it. There is not there wasn't exactly one answer. There were many answers to this problem, and you did a very good job finding that out. Thank you for.
Exactly right. You can find many issues even just in a README file. So think about the issues you can find in code. Okay, so
Yes.
that is the basically we are trying to demonstrate. So we have okay. So we have decided we have found a issue. We decided that we want to contribute in this issue, but what is the first step in starting to contribute? Uh, Pulkit, scroll up on the repository when the repository just starts. So there are some sections, as you can see, we are in code section right now. So can you go on the issue section? So first point, when you're contributing and you found a issue, there are major chances that that issue is already has been recognized by maintainer, and that should be in this issues section. Okay, so if there is, you can ask the maintainer that you have also found this issue, and if you want to contribute, you can just type it out that I want to contribute to this issue.
If
But as you can see there, that issue has not been highlighted in this repository, so we have to make a new issue. Pulkit, click on the new issue button. Uh, so we are going to make a new issue, and major again practical point, guys, when you're creating a new issue, make sure that your title and description is very concise and clear. The maintainer should just get a glance on your title and get what the issue might be. It is a very important step, and it helps your maintainer to don't have spam issues or something. So Pulkit, Arsh, we have the title of the issue, right?
yes,
So Arsh will just copy the title and description of the issue. And one again practical point that I personally use sometimes if I don't get the right words, or writing it in short words is also an art. Sometimes I can't do that. I use ChatGPT for that. So you guys can also consider that. Uh, and also, as you can see, there is a preview section. So if you highlight some like link or picture, that won't be visible in the right section, but that will be visible in the preview section. So make sure you get the look of the preview section before submitting your issue. Okay, Arsh included the issue in the chat. Pulkit, you can copy it, or we can just make you type it out. Yep. So for now, I guess we can skip the description, but as it is only a demonstration, make sure to add the description when you're actually creating a new issue. Okay. Yeah, you can click on submit new issue. Wait, one thing. I forgot a major thing. That is okay. It is okay. We can edit the issue as well. So the thing is, we just added the issue, but we never mentioned that if we want to contribute to this issue or not. Like suppose I am just a guy that is using application and I don't know anything about code, so I will just mention the issue, but I won't be contributing in that. But we are developers, we find issues and we want to contribute. So what we will write: please assign me this issue. I want to contribute this as Hacktoberfest 2024
as a part of.
as a part of,
Yes.
and make sure to not contribute to an issue that you're not assigned, as it saves the time both of for you and the maintainer of the project.
And also, if someone else is working on this that issue, you are undermining their hard work as well. So it is not a bad. It is not a good practice. So always uh, work on the issues you are assigned to.
Any questions till
Until now,
now, guys? Okay, all clear. Can we get some reactions?
yes. guys.
Okay,
That's all.
thank you. So, uh, yeah, I guess Arsh, we can proceed further.
Yes, tell him to post the issue.
Yeah, you can update the comment. So, as you guys see, first Pulkit created an issue. Can you open the issue section again?
Just click on the issues tab again.
Huh. Okay, we got a new issue while on the meeting. That is good. So just as you can see now, Pulkit created a new issue, and that issue is highlighted in the issue section. Just open your issue, Pulkit. And okay, now we have opened an issue, and we have also asked the maintainer to assign this issue as a part of Hacktoberfest. Now we will actually show you the maintainer perspective of the issue, and Arshdeep Singh is also the maintainer of this project, and he will be sharing his screen and show you how that issue is highlighted to a maintainer and how he will assign this issue to Pulkit. Over to Arshdeep.
Okay, so let me just share the screen now.
Pulkit, you can stop sharing for now, but we will need you to contribute in this issue. Okay, so
Okay,
kindly be in the
okay,
meeting.
this is the- so now if I go to the same project, GitHub Open Source Chandigarh at Zangetsu, I would see there are two issues highlighted here. So when I would open, I would see these two. I have closed three before. See, these three issues had already been resolved, and I closed them. So you can see there may be issues that have already been solved, so you don't need to work on them again. So please check this before as well. So now if I open Pulkit Garg's issue, I would see uh, his issue that he wants me to assign this issue as part of Hacktoberfest. You know, sometimes क्या होता है कि you have a repository that has a tag of Hacktoberfest, but the maintainers are busy people, so they sometimes forget to add these tags. Your contribution will only count if it is under the Hacktoberfest label. So always take this as a reminder to tell them beforehand so that they don't skip it. The way you speak here should be professional as well as descriptive. So see, he has told me to assign this issue as part of Hacktoberfest. So what I would do is just reply to him, okay, you can work on that, and with that, as you can see on the left side, here is the assignee section. Normally it is not accessible to contributors, but the maintainers would be able to access this. So here under assignees, I can assign Pulkit this issue. It takes a few time. Now Pulkit has been assigned this issue, and you can see here it shows that Ayrat Sandhu has assigned Pulkit Garg this issue now. So also I will label this issue under Hacktoberfest, and there's maybe some other labels as well depending upon the issue. Like I would assign this as good first issue and documentation.
Yeah, about that, there are some labels on the issues that have already been found or the issues you found. That label helps you understand the scope of the issue, like on which part of the repository the issue needs to be worked, or that this good first issue is a special label that really helped me and many developers. So this is considered as a, if you are contributing to this repository first time, this is the issue you should go for, as you can understand the structure and contributing guidelines of the issue while making a small and meaningful contribution. So if you guys are starting your open source journey, make sure to find this good first issue tag on some issues and try to contribute to them.
So as you can see here under the under, if I were to open the issues tab, you would see under assignees there is Pulkit Garg has been assigned this issue successfully. So now
Again,
Rehan, if you would help him.
yeah, Pulkit, can you again share your screen? Again, guys, major point, don't work on a issue if you have not been assigned, if or if the maintainer don't know that you're working on that issue. I have seen like there is a repository in Python. I guess it was AstroPy, where the maintainers don't assign you the issue, but they just give you a hands-on. Like they will give you a thumbs up that you can work on this issue, but as a part of their contributing guidelines, they don't assign you issues. So yeah, just make sure to follow the contributing guidelines of that particular repository. Uh, the major point is the maintainer should be aware that you are going to contribute. Okay, as we can see, Pulkit has been assigned the issue, and now Pulkit is all set to start contributing to this issue. So Pulkit, can you go to Zengetsu again? Yeah, code section also works. So the first step in starting to contribute is forking the repository. So can anyone of you tell me what is the meaning of forking a repository? Good night. Yes.
So forking the repository means that like we have a main repository which is named as Zangetsu, right? So we have created our GitHub account. Now when we fork the repository, it creates a clone of that repository for our personal, usage, and then that repository is basically connected to this main repository, and we can definitely create a PR, or if you say it as a merge request to that main repository, so that our code can be merged without any merge conflicts and all. So fork
Very well.
repository, yeah.
Thank you. Good night. So yeah, basically, when we fork a repository, GitHub will create a copy of that repository in our profile. So Pulkit, just click on the fork button. Okay, and as you can see, so something is different here. GitHub is making Pulkit Garg the owner of this repository. Does that mean that Zengetsu is owned by Pulkit now? Yes. Actually, what is happening is GitHub is just making a copy of that repository on Pulkit's account. So yeah, go ahead and create the for Pulkit. Now, okay, it is forking. And as you guys can see on the URL, first it said github.com slash open source chandigarh slash singitsu, but now it says github.com slash purkitkar slash singitsu. So that means this is a copy of singitsu that has been forked by Pulkit. And you guys can also see it is on the Zingitsu forked from open source chandigarh. So yeah, this is the first step when you start contribute, that is forking the repository. Second step is cloning the repository. Okay, but now what is the difference between a fork and a clone? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Okay,
Uh,
let's
hmm.
good night, sorry to interrupt you, but I guess RN is also interested. Yeah, so RN, you can go ahead.
Fork is like a branch that we are getting in the path of the code. Like it is a branch, such as tree. But the clone is we are getting the code and we could make the changes in that code.
I don't think that was the correct description, RN. Saksham, yes, over to you.
क्लोन हमारे पीसी के डेटाबेस यानी लोकल डेटाबेस में हो सकता है और फोर्क हम न्यू रिपोजिटरी जो बनाएंगे.
Exactly. So difference between clone and fork is it is in your GitHub account, but clone is in your local machine. We will actually download this repository when we clone it. Okay. So thank you, Saksham, Aryan, and good night also. So Pulkit, can you click on the code section? So to fork this repository, we have to copy the URL that is given in the code section. We can copy it like this. Yeah, just click on copy. So okay, so now you have copied the URL. Now Pulkit, just open any folder where you want to store this repository. uh, yeah, just open any folder on your PC. Okay, so again, practical tip, guys. Just if you are if you want to contribute to many projects, just make a folder called open source projects where you can store all your open source projects. Okay. Oh, yes, like Pulkit did. Okay, just right click and opens command prompt or command line. Show more options. Go to that. Yeah, that is also okay. But one major issue, as you guys can see, that CMD is open in C users toolkit, where we don't want to download this repository in the C drive. We want to download it in open source. So toolkit, just close this command prompt, right click, show more, or there, yes, there is open in terminal, or you can also use git terminal as well. Okay, so now there is a command for copying the repository, and we will also be sharing you all the commands that you need to contribute. So make sure for that. Just write git clone and right click the URL. So it, as you can see, this is the command that we need to uh, clone this repository in my local machine. Just click enter. As you guys can see, that repository has been downloaded in our local machine. Okay, any doubts till now, guys? Please make sure if you have any doubts to ask. Okay, all clear? Okay, good. So okay, now Pulkit, can you do cd zingetsu? Okay, quick question, guys. See why cd is used? Very
Yes.
simple command. Yeah, sure, go
Change
ahead.
like
Change
Uh,
direct.
Okay, Misha is also interested, you can also go ahead.
To change the directory.
Yeah, exactly, very well. Okay, now there is also a command. If you have VS Code installed, you can directly open your VS Code from PowerShell or any command prompt. Anyone know that command?
uh,
How we have?
yes, 1996.
Okay, Saksham, good night. Any one of you guys can go ahead.
Hot dot.
So yeah, code space
Yeah,
dot.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Pulkit, just type it out. You, it is not mandatory to code in VS Code, but yeah, that is generally we all guys use. So as you can see, that command just opened that GitHub repository in our VS Code or your favorite code editor. Okay, as you guys can see, this is the same repository we saw on GitHub, and now it is on working on Pulkit's machine. Now, over to Arsh. He will explain you how to contribute to README file. Right?
Upstream, Rehan.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad. First, we have to set the upstream. Okay, Pulkit, can you open command prompt on
Terminal. You can just open
terminal?
the
Yeah,
terminal.
just open a terminal. Yeah, so this is the terminal you see on VS Code. Now we have to do one thing. We have to set the upstream. Anyone of you know what is upstream?
Connecting to GitHub.
Yeah, exactly. Connecting your local repository to a upstream or a remote branch. Okay. So Pulkit, just type git remote add upstream uh, strem, and the link you just copied.
Backlick. Yes.
Yeah, and click enter. So what it does is uh, remote upstream already exists. Ash, over to you.
Hello. Uh,
Rem-
um, Pulkit, if you would just type git remote minus v,
remote.
git remote minus v. ROMET, yes. Upstream, it is already
Okay.
for Zangetsu. So you can just push to origin. You
Okay,
don't really bother.
so I guess Pulkit has already added upstream. That is okay. If you are contributing for the first time, you will need to add this command,
But
right?
you must always check क्योंकि if you would see there the origin and upstream, there are two links. Origin points to his forked repository while the upstream points to the main open source Chandigarh repository. You can't work to the upstream right now, so you must do the origin right now.
Yeah, don't make sure when you're adding upstream that that link has your URL, not the actual URL of the repository. Okay, it must have the forked URL. Okay, so okay, that is done, and uh, okay, we have added the upstream. Now before we contribute, that condition can come. We have downloaded the repository, and on the other hand, on GitHub there are some changes already made on the main repository, and we don't know about that. So a conflict can occur. So there is a command for that, that is git pull upstream main. Can you type it out, toolkit? Git pull
Git
upstream.
pull origin Rehan, here is
Okay,
a
okay,
very
we are
big.
working on it. Okay, okay, okay. My bad.
No, Pulkit,
Uh,
git pull,
just give the command in the message.
just type git pull.
Again, guys, this is the part where you guys can encounter some issues. We
Yeah,
also sometimes
as
get issues, and that is okay. Uh, errors are a part of coding, as you can guys can see. Yes, Saksham, do you have any doubt? Any doubt till now, guys?
it is normal to have some issues while you're working on these. So that's why we have chat gpt stack overflow, and you can always reach out to open source Chandigarh as well if you are encountering any issues regarding these, because
So, yeah.
yeah, continue.
So what git pull does is it will pull the changes that have made been on your remote or GitHub repository to your local repository. So make sure to do git pull as well before you start contributing. Now, any one of you like to tell me what is a branch in the context of version control? Okay, any Marvel fans there who knows about branch? Okay, good night. Yeah, go ahead.
So, branch actually, first of all, I'm not a Marvel fan, and
Sure,
branches
sure.
and all. So we can have different types of branch. One which is commonly which we know is main branch, and there we can have master branch, development branch. So basically, a branch is created just like suppose we have to push a feature. So we create a separate branch rather than forking a repository, and then we work on that branch to make it merge with the probably a development branch which can be deployed. So yeah, branch is like just a copy of the main code, and you are adding a feature to it with some like a new code.
Thank you.
That answers.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sahil is asking a doubt for you.
uh, can you
He
please
wants.
explain the git pull upstream main? So Sahil, is you could understand it like this. uh, at an instance, you would not be the only person who is working on that project. There could be many people. मान लो कि एक प्रोजेक्ट है, एक फ्रंट एंड का प्रोजेक्ट है, एक वेबसाइट बनानी है, सो मैनी पीपल वुड बी वर्किंग ऑन इट. कोई बंदा बटन्स पे काम कर रहा है, कोई कॉन्टैक्ट सेक्शन पे काम कर रहा है. सो कंसिडर दिस, अगर किसी बंदे ने तुमसे पहले अपना काम कर लिया, ठीक है, हिज कोड वुड बी मर्ज्ड इनटू द ओरिजिनल कोड बेस. ओके, सो होगा क्या, अगर वो ऑलरेडी मर्ज हो चुका है, तुम्हारे पास तो वो कॉपी नहीं है, तुम लोकली काम कर रहे हो, तो जब तुम भी अपने चेंजेस करके ऊपर पुश करोगे, वहां पे उस जगह पे जो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करती, क्योंकि उसमें ऑलरेडी बहुत चेंज हो सकते हैं, तो इश्यूज आते हैं, क्लैशेस हो जाते हैं. तो इसीलिए जब भी पुश करते हैं उससे पहले पुल करना होता है कि पहले चेंजेस हम इनकलकेट कर लें, फिर हम अपने चेंजेस वापस पुश करें उस रेपोजिटरी में, ताकि इश्यूज ना आए. That is the reason we always do git pull before making any changes.
Yeah, exactly. Saksham has a question. Go ahead, Saksham.
तो जैसे अगर हम गिट पुल करेंगे तो जब कोड में चेंजेस आएंगे वो हमें शो होएगा कि इस लाइन में जैसे कोड में चेंज आया है जब हम पुल कर रहे हैं कि उससे हमारा जो पुराना कोड था कहीं वो एरर ना देने लग जाए।
I guess you can go into the there is a section on VS Code for version control where you can view the changes that have been made.
ओके।
You know it in the sidebar. Yeah, good night. You want to say?
Yeah, so see, like if in the VS Code itself, that third option which we have.
Yeah,
So once we take a pull, it will show all the changes which are upcoming from the upstream branch, basically the main repository. And yes, it will
exactly.
show the files also. Like on the left and right side, it will show the differences, like what changes are there. Do you want to accept the incoming change, or do you want to keep the current change, or do you want to merge both changes? So all that it will show. You can definitely accept that and
Yeah,
make changes.
Pulkit, can you click on the third option on the sidebar for version control? Yeah, so yeah, guys, you can clearly visualize the branches here and the upstream. Okay, so this is how your Git workflow looks like. Okay, when you work on branches and everything, it is a very good tool to visualize. And again, as he mentioned, if you have any changes coming from the upstream, that will be highlighted in this section as well. So this section is very important. Get familiar with it, and yeah, it is very easy to visualize this stuff because of the VS Code and other IDEs that are available in the market right now.
Uh,
Okay,
Continue, Rehan.
okay. So we have pulled. I guess. Oh yeah, we have to make a new branch. So make sure whenever we are contributing, you contribute. You make a new branch, do your changes there, and then push that to your Git. So for making a branch, there are two commands, that is git branch and git checkout minus b. So what git checkout minus b? Okay, just write it out. Git checkout
All these commands have been written in chat box if you are following us along.
minus b. Who would like to explain this command? Minus b, Pulkit. And just write. Okay, so it is very important that you also give a good name to your branch, so that is concise and descriptive. So for this, I would say, just if you're contributing to the issue, you can write issue underscore and the issues number that have has been assigned. Okay, you can check the issue on your GitHub issue number. Okay, it is hashtag 10 as we can see, so you can write, yeah. So it is descriptive and it tells you what issue you are contributing to. Now we have switched the branch. Now why I did git checkout minus b? Yeah, good night. Go ahead.
So git checkout minus b creates a new branch in your local system. And if you are using without minus b, so basically a branch already exists, you are switching to that branch. And minus b is used to create a new branch, basically,
Yeah,
which you can
basically
publish on
git.
GitHub.
So if you want to create a new branch and switch to that, there are two commands: get branch and then get checkout. But when you add minus b flag to the checkout, it will automatically create a new branch and switch to that.
Okay.
Okay, so we have created a new branch. Now Arshdeep will guide on how to actually make the change in the readme file.
Guys, I can understand that some of you might be having trouble understanding Git commands and how GitHub works. So for that, you can watch a simple tutorial as well, or either Open Source Chandigarh is soon going to organize a workshop on Git and GitHub. You can also join that. It would be most likely in mid-October. So hope to see some of you guys there. So Pulkit, if you would open the README file, it's open, sorry. If you'd go just downwards, जहाँ पे हमने चेंजेस करने हैं, या फर्स्ट स्टॉप, प्लीज स्टॉप, या सो सबसे पहली कमांड वी सी हियर इज गिट क्लोन. सो हाउ टू इसको अपन कोड ब्लॉक में कैसे लेकर आए, हाउ वुड वी इंक्लूड दैट? फॉर दैट इज क्वाइट सिंपल. क्या करना है पुलकित? गिट क्लोन से ऊपर वाली लाइन में जाना. या नाउ टाइप the apostrophe is below escape 3 times. Escape key ke niche, yeah, correct. And do the same after this command. That's it. Now, doing this would include the contents inside in the code block, like you see above. If you would, yeah, as you can see here, that's quite good, Pulkit. You can see that git clone github.com, your username github.io is now in a code block, just like how your npm would be. So, Pulkit, if you would do the same for all the commands here, cd zanget, so you forgot that. Just take it to a new line, cd zanget. Nice.
Guys, when you are enclosing the code in blocks, you can also mention the language in which you are enclosing. You can just type, like if I want to enclose Java, I can write Java after the three colons.
Are you done? Yeah.
Just check it if all the changes are good.
Just show me the preview. I would. We're good. Yeah, we are good to go.
As you guys can see, it is very descriptive, and it just looks good, and it is very useful. I can just copy the commands and you know
Now save
paste them
this.
into my terminal.
Save the README file. Good. Now, Rehan, could you continue with the ad?
Yeah, sure. So again, guys, do you know what is the staging area in Git and version control? Staging area, or what might be my next step if I want to contribute? Any of you? Kanwar, yeah, go ahead.
So am I audible, guys?
Yeah, you
Yes,
are.
you're.
Yeah. So essentially, what a staging area is, the local version control that's on your system, right? It's not aware of what files are in the system or what files you are making changes to. So what this command git add does is it tells the local git or the version control system that these files have been added to the staging area, and the changes to them are being actively tracked by the version control system. That's what the staging area essentially is.
Yes, very well. But one thing is wrong. Git is actually aware of all the files in the repository you are making changes to. Pulke, just do git status on your terminal. Yeah, go ahead. Good night.
So git add is basically suppose you have changed, suppose there are 10 files in your repository. Now you have changed 5 files. So git add will just promote those changes, so it can be committed and pushed. And git add works actually like that, not in a way that it is watching those 5 files or 10 files.
Exactly. But Kanwar, as you can guys, as you can see, I have not added it to the staging area yet, but it is still showing as modified. Okay, so that's what I want to mention. It is aware about the changes you are making to the any files of your repository, but it is in red. So when you commit the changes, this file not be added in your commit. So that is what staging area. It is basically a medium between committing your changes and actually pushing your changes. Okay, so again the step is to add all the changes. So if suppose you contributed to you added some changes to 5 files, but for this commit you only want to push 3 files. Okay, so you what you will do, you will include only those 3 files to the staging area. Okay, you guys can imagine it. Okay, there are 5 people in the backstage, but only 3 people are going on the front stage and showing it to the public. Okay, when I push it, my GitHub is not aware about the changes that I have not committed or staged. Okay, so Pulkit, just you can add a command git add dot or git add minus minus all. Okay, so it will stage all the changes, or you can, for this section you can also take help of your again version control tab on VS Code. Can you do git status again, Pulkit? Okay, when you are typing in CMD, you can just do the up arrow and it will take you to the last command. Yeah, as you guys, yeah, exactly like this Pulkit did. As you guys can see now, that change has been highlighted in green. That means it is in the staging area and it is ready to be committed. So for commit, I would like you guys to take help of the VS Code section. But yeah, you can guys can do it from terminal also. But Pulkit, can you go to the version control section? The third tab, yeah. Okay, so just click on commit. Don't type any message now. Okay, now as you can see, we are on the prompt of writing a message. Okay, again, practical tips. There are some conventions that you can follow for writing a good commit message, and it is very important that that commit message is descripted and it tells exactly what change have been made in a commit. So you guys can again take help of ChatGPT for that, but also there are some simple conventions you can follow that we will give you a link where you can check out those conventions. Okay, for now, again, any one of you would like to tell what would be a good commit message for this change? Any one of you?
Any one of you guys would like to tell what commit message would you like to give for this change? Please, guys, show
Okay,
some.
okay, Arsh, can you just paste the commit message? Git
Uh,
commit minus m. It is okay, Aryan, but it is not descriptive. It is not telling what change I have made. Okay, it is okay, but there are some better conventions we can follow.
Rehan, if you would write the commit message, I am.
Okay, okay, I will just type it. So there are some convention. Right now we are fixing a issue. So we will first write fix colon, give a space, and we can just write fixes issue hash 10, right? And then we can give the body to the message. I have typed that issue in the chat if you guys can see. Issue,
Yeah,
yeah,
guys,
that is
you are giving some quite good reviews and quite good commit
okay.
messages.
My message is not visible in the chat for some reason. Yeah, we can go ahead with good night's commit message. That is good. But again, when you write a commit message, just make sure you include four of these conventions. That is, if you are contributing to code and that code is bringing a new feature, you write feat, that is short for feature. If you are contributing to documentation, you write docs. If you are fixing some issue, you write fix. If you are doing a chore, what is a chore? It is basically it you have, if you are switching the version of your project, so that is a chore. Okay, so you write chore for that. For now we can go ahead, Pulki, just write fix. Yeah, just type it out. No, no, not in the commit editing tab that have been opened.
Above commit editing file next to
In
the
the
readme.
main editing area. No, 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 where you write your code. There are where they are saying please enter the commit
Yeah,
message.
here
Yeah, above that, above it,
at the top line, one line.
at the top line. Yeah, just write fix colon space fixes. Yeah, they also I guess GitHub Copilot is enabled in Pulkit's VS Code, and it is suggesting some changes. So it is again a practical tip, or you can use ChatGPT or any AI to suggest you commit message. It is very good in these things. We also want to include a body. So to include a body, just click on enter, Pulkit. No, no, no. Yeah, we can go ahead there, but yeah. And on the next line, we can include a body. Just give it a one more enter. So there is a space. Now we can add the body. Just add that I have added code block. So just add code block. No, 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 no. Don't always use. Don't use. use professional tone in that. Just don't use I have added or something. Just say add code block to readme.mp. That is very good. Again, there are some conventions, you can check it out. We will send you some links, and we can click on the arrow to commit this message. And that commit has been made. Pulkit, can you write git log in your terminal? Again, guys, what does git log do? Who would like to tell? Tanvar, go ahead.
So what Gitlog essentially does is it's a history of all the commits have that you have made alongside the commit tokens. You can see the small tokens or like alphanumeric characters alongside the commit message. That's essentially what the Git tokens are.
Yeah, exactly. And it will also tell you who made the change, and also tell you about the, as you guys can see there, we can see the author Pulkit Garg and the when he made the commit, and the commit message and the commit body. So we are good to go. We have made a change. Now we are going to push it.
Uh,
So you can. Huh?
the biggest advantage of Gitlog is that consider one day your server would all go down, you know who to blame.
Yeah, there is a command git blame. So Pulkit, you can do git pull, or you can do again publish your branch on version number. As you guys can see, id is very helpful in that. It will tell you exactly what branch I am pushing to. Yeah, you can go ahead and push to origin.
You can do these things via the ID, like Pulkit is doing here, or you can type the commands I have written in the in-call messages. Both things work. That's up to
Yeah,
you.
but id is more, informative, and it helps you visualize the changes you are making.
Yeah,
So
that's
Pulkit, you
entirely
can
up.
go to Pulkit, you can go to. I know there might be some Linux folks here who don't like GUI, so anyone, whatever is good for you.
So, yeah,
Okay, now we are on the fogged repo of Zengetsu that Pulkit fogged, and we can say we made some changes, we pushed it, and now our GitHub is telling you that we have some recent pushes and we can create a pull request. What is a pull request? Who would like to tell? Okay, so pull request. Yeah, good night.
So pull request, as we have created a forked repository, we are like now we want to merge our changes from forked repository to the main repository. We will create a merge request and we can add a reviewer in that, so that person will review our code and will basically approve and merge the request to the main repository where we want to contribute.
So when we thank you, good night. So when we push the changes, it is reflected on the fork repo Pulkit. But if I want that those changes should be highlighted on the main Zenitsu repo from which everyone can fork, I can create a pull request. I can request the maintainer of that project that I have made some changes. They are looking good, and I want you to please add these changes to the main Zenitsu repo. Okay, so I will go ahead and compare. And Pulkit, can you click on compare and pull request? I will request the maintainer. Can you just see the changes? Just if you like the changes, you can merge it to the main repo. And again, you will have to give a title and description to the pull request. If you have, like, we only have one single commit message, so GitHub is already taking the commit message and body as a title and description. But if you have more than one commit message, you again follow some conventions and write good pull request titles. And if you actually contribute to some good big organization level repo, they have certain conventions. They have created some examples on how to create a pull request. And yes, what do we say, uh, they have some form like pull request that you can just fill, and they know what they want you to add. The If you have any test for that changes, if you have any pictures. Yeah, yeah, again, picture is a good point. when you make some changes, and it can help you, if it can help you visualize the maintainer, make sure to add some pictures of that change. Okay. So for now, I guess we can go ahead.
So Pulkit, if you would just create a pull request here.
And always, as you can see, there is a check for allow edit by maintainers. Make sure to do that, so the maintainers of the project can do some changes on your commit or branch.
Okay. So Pulkit, if you would turn off your screen share.
So now Arsh will also give you the maintainer perspective of reviewing a pull request and merging a pull request. So over to Arsh.
Okay. So if I were to refresh now, as you can see, I see there is one pull request pending. I would see that a person, Pulkit, has made a pull request to fix issue #10. So yeah, so when I would open this thing, the first step you must, Rehan, we forgot about that. When you are contributing for Hacktoberfest, make sure while making a pull request in the description, please write that add this under Hacktoberfest or consider this under Hacktoberfest, so that uh, the maintainer can add the labels of Hacktoberfest and Hacktoberfest accepted. That's the first step. So now I would check what exactly has he done. So I can check this via commits. He has made the files he has changed. As I can see that he has removed a line and added the quotes for it. And once I am satisfied that uh, his changes are good and he has successfully solved it, I would just merge his pull request. And there you go. We have successfully completed our first Hacktoberfest contributions. Everyone, please congratulate Pulkit and congratulate
Yeah,
yourself.
congratulations, Pulkit. You did a great job. Thank you for all the help you did in volunteering. Can you just turn on your screen for just last time so we can
Yeah.
show you a perspective of the pull request getting merged? Guys, when you get assigned a issue, or when you any conversation you get replied to on GitHub, you will get a text or a mail on your registered email on GitHub. So yeah, keep checking your mails. As you guys can see, Pulkit has a notification on his GitHub. Right now the tab is open, but yeah, he can just check the notifications as well. As you guys can see, he got a notification that his pull request has been merged. Yeah, you can open it a bit. Okay, I can see my pull request has been merged, and Hacktoberfest accepted label is important when your pull request get merged. So sorry, I forgot about this point. And as you guys can see, GitHub is also recommending you to delete the branch, because that branch was uh, just for the issue 10, and we don't want another commit on that branch, so we can just go ahead and delete that branch. But if you're planning to do some say many pull requests on the same branch, so don't delete it then. But right now we just fix the issue, so we can safely delete that branch. Pulkit, can you open your Hacktoberfest profile again?
Refresh the page as well.
Scroll.
Scroll downwards.
As you guys can see that, okay, as you
It
guys
takes
can see,
15 minutes, I guess, to.
yeah, it does. That's what I wanted to say. It takes some time for Hacktoberfest to get your pull request to recognize. So don't worry, and just wait a bit. Also, one important point I missed. So suppose you made a pull request and the maintainer has not replied you for 1 or 2 days. don't personally message them or text them. Just wait for a week or something, because the maintainers are very busy people, and you don't want to spam them with messages. Wait a bit, but still, if they don't listen, then it is okay to text them. So it will take some time for the PR to get merged. PR to get recognized by Hacktoberfest, and that is okay.
Pulkit, you have some already made contributions. If you would just scroll downwards. Yeah, please stop here. Yeah, like you can see, after 15 minutes or so, Hacktoberfest would show his contribution here under pull merge request. And after the request passes all the tests are the repository is under Hacktoberfest. The pull request is or either the pull request is under Hacktoberfest label, and it has been merged or has been labeled valid. Under all any of these cases, it would successfully pass the review, and after this there would be a 7-day review period, and only if your contribution is still accepted after 7 days would it count towards your Hacktoberfest contribution. So you need to wait for that as well.
Very well, Pulkit. And again, thank you so much for helping us demonstrating on how to make a pull request and get it accepted by Hacktoberfest. You can turn off your screen. Can we get some reactions for Pulkit, please?
Yes, Pulkit, and also be proud of yourself. You have watched how to make your first Hacktoberfest contribution, and we hope that you may be able to make one yourself as well in the as soon as possible. So
Now,
yeah, before we continue, we'd like you to fill the feedback form. Aditya, if you could have that.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm sharing.
just just before the feedback form, uh, could you please demonstrate those types of contributions which people can do?
Okay, so basically, there are three types of contributions that you can make under Hacktoberfest: code, low code, and non-code. There's not it's not so difficult to understand. You can understand from the name. Non-code includes documentation type contributions, like we did just now for README, improving README, adding contributing.md file, etc. These that are mostly include documentation is under non-code stuff. Low code includes contributions that are not too deep into the code base, just
like fixing
slightly.
a simple quotes error, or you know,
Yeah,
simple semicolon error.
yeah. And code contributions are a little higher up in that. Like if you were to add a different section, or you were to if you were to solve a bug in the existing code base, etc. Yes, Saksham, you have a question?
भैया इसमें जैसे आपने अपनी एक वो रिपोजिटरी रखी हुई थी कि हैक्टोबर फेस्ट के अंदर है वो, और अगर उसमें कोई कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा तो हैक्टोबर फेस्ट के अंदर माना जाएगा
हाँ
कंट्रीब्यूशन।
हाँ हाँ हाँ
तो हम भी इसमें कर सकते हैं कि जैसे अगर मैं कोई रिपोजिटरी पब्लिश कर दूं और कोई
हाँ
और अगर
हाँ।
उसमें कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा तो हैक्टोबर फेस्ट के अंदर वो हो जाए चीज बन।
Yes, for that you would need to first check out a Hacktoberfest official website. They have listed down some points that you need to follow. Only then someone can contribute to that.
So
तो
basically,
भी
these
हम
are
भी करा
there are
सकते
some.
हैं, जैसे अगर स्टार्ट हो गया इवेंट तो हम अब करा सकते हैं पब्लिश, या पहले करवानी होगी
अरे
हैक्टोबर फेस्ट।
कुछ नहीं, बस
So
टैग्स ऐड करने होते हैं
Tags
अक्टूबर
ही add
फेस्ट में.
करने हैं.
right. So even if you are in the mid of October or towards the ending of October, you can still register. You can still put your project into open source. All you need to do is add the tag of Hacktoberfest and Hacktoberfest accepted. It will be automatically counted by Hacktoberfest people, and they'll consider your repository as open source.
ओके भैया, थैंक यू।
So yeah, I'm sharing the feedback form.
While you guys fill the feedback form, you can ask any questions, any queries. Yeah,
Yes,
go
yes.
ahead.
I think, as Preksha mentioned in the start of the meeting, that there had been a controversy with MLS Fellowship, and India developers were kind of banned or something. So I would like to add one thing in that.
It's not a question, but just I wanted to share. So there was a famous YouTuber who also kind of made a video on this, that you can contribute to these open source repositories, and they made a basic change, be it in README file or something. Okay, so many developers thought that they also can do it in the same way, and they contributed, and there were a lot of merge requests for just changes in README file or some minor changes, which is not actually a contribution. The contribution which counts in our professional life is more of a code related thing. Like if you are adding a feature or if you are optimizing a code, that helps a lot rather than these documentation changes. Like documentation changes also matters a lot, but they are not that significant, is what I want to say. And don't create merge request just because you want to have a count on your profile that okay, you have contributed. So this is what
Yes,
I wanted to.
well said.
Very good point.
Yes, exactly. As the Hacktoberfest official website also says, quantity doesn't matter, quality does. We don't want simple code contributions like
That's
adding a semicolon, etc. We want real contributions that are helpful to the society.
uh,
Well said,
this
the
is a
right.
this is a beginner event, but if you go to some big organization level repos, my suggestion would be to first try to solve the issues that have already been opened and that maintainers know about this issue, and that actually needs a contribution rather than just for the sake of getting a one point you are creating an issue and trying to fixing a bug. That is not a good practice generally. So yeah, if you contribute some big repos, just make sure first try to solve the issues that have already been opened.
Any other issues, guys?
And again, maintainers are very busy people. Don't spam them. Don't, they are also humans. Don't use abusive language or something. Be professional, be respectful. They will help you, they will help you a lot, and sometimes they can give you referrals or something also. So be polite with them, and yeah, just treat them as a human as well.
So, guys, please make sure you're asking questions or sharing your doubts, because this is the best way to get them resolved. And also, you can, if you want to turn on your mic and camera and speak, then you can surely do that. If you want to share your any experience related to open source, if you have participated in any open source program, or if you have doubt related to any other open source program other than Hacktoberfest, feel free to ask and consider it very good for yourself, because um such type of events, they are very much good for your doubt resolving thing. So make sure you ask the questions. Feel free, feel comfortable. This is all your space.
And even after this event, if you are having any issue, you can always contact Open Source Chandigarh or us. We are ready to help you anytime.
Guys, if you're struggling in coding or don't find a good project to work on, open source is a very good thing for me. Mostly I love doing open source. It is the most enjoyable thing for me. The sense of a community you feel, you can also join some chat channels for these communities, and there you will see people discussing algorithms and system designs. It is very good, and get out of your university, get into the world. It is a very good thing for that. Also, you will realize how the corporate work works, because these are the actually projects that people use. That is the real open source. Just so go out, explore, and see how these people work, how the workflow of a good project works. It is very good.
So if you have any query which you cannot ask in the session, you can surely connect with us on our LinkedIn. We have displayed the QR codes and you can scan them. Um, Make sure you ask relevant doubts and consider our situation as well, that we don't have much time, but still we are always there to help you. If you want to reach us out offline, we'll be available as well.
one point I again want to mention. Don't back off if you think that you don't, if you want to contribute and you don't have a particular skill, don't back off. You can contribute while learning, that is completely fine too. For me, I learn by solving problems or actually contributing. If I see a issue and I have to learn a new technology for that, that is okay. If if you completely don't know what the project is going on and don't have a direction, that is another part. But if you have some direction and you think you can learn a particular, like say, library for this issue, make sure to do that. It is a very good part to learn by actually achieving something, right? So yeah,
Yes,
don't be scared.
many people learn it the hard way, that you don't need to know everything about something to help in some to do something. Like कुछ दिन पहले की बात है, we were working on a TypeScript project and I didn't really knew anything about TypeScript, लेकिन फिर भी हमने उस पे काम किया. अब हमने ये थोड़ी था कि पहले जाके उसका if else सीखा, उसके for loop सीखे, उसको कैसे कनेक्ट करना है वो सीखा. We just do made a logic out of it कि हाँ ये ऐसे चलता है. So I would say this to you: internet is the largest repository of information in this world. मैं यही कहूँगा. You can find everything. Use Stack Overflow, use ChatGPT. These are made for you. That is how you learn stuff, not by going through each and every line of theory about something. You learn by doing. That's it.
Again, any questions?
Any
So
questions?
you can follow us on our LinkedIn, Instagram,
Yeah,
and
so
with
I'll give
our
you
GitHub as well.
social media handles. You can follow us here and connect with us.
So there are many repositories hosted on our GitHub. Make sure you contribute there as well and will also be considered under Hacktoberfest. You can also share today's experience with us on your LinkedIn and make sure you tag me, Rehan, and Arshdeep as well as Open Source Chandigarh, and we'll be posting your experience as well. So make sure you also consider your personal branding and share the experiences of the events that you attend. And this will be very helpful for others and your peers. You can spread the awareness from your side as well. I hope everyone has filled the feedback form because it is very important for us to know the feedback and we'll be working upon it.
Guys, I'm sharing a cheat sheet for the git commit message that I mentioned. So check it out.
You can even find out some resources on the official website of Hacktoberfest and you can follow those resources. There are some tutorials, some cheat sheets. These will be very helpful for you. Over to you, Aditya.
Yeah. So thank you so much everyone for joining us today. We hope this session both inspiring and informative as you prepare take the first steps in after the fest. And a huge thank you to Preksha for her insights on open source culture and as well as to Rehan and Arshdeep for your technical expertise and hands-on guidance. Just before leaving, I would like to everyone to turn on their camera so that we can take a group photograph and then we can end this webinar.
So I could see very few videos being turned on. It would be very great if you all turn on your cameras for just a minute and we'll just take a screenshot. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
joining. And if you still have any questions, make sure you reach us out and don't hesitate. Feel free to ask.